Right. So beginning to gather ourselves into our space, letting go of anything that might be on the mind. We've got a little intense playlist this evening. Calling our awareness into the body. We'll begin to take some movement with the neck, whatever that looks like. Maybe shaking the head no gently. Maybe dropping the chin towards the chest, maybe rolling the neck back if that feels okay. Rolling the shoulders. We'll place the hands on the knees and start to wake things up, moving so slowly. Letting the hips move freely if they come off the mat. And we'll move in the other direction. Coming to center. We're going to place the hands behind the back, squeeze the shoulders together, look up if that's available. Open the front of the chest. Taking a couple of breaths here. And releasing. We're going to bring the hands to the shoulders. We're going to inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Exhale, bring them forward. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, back. One more. And release that. We'll bring the hands to prayer. We're going to inhale up, looking up gently. We're going to exhale, twist towards the left knee. Plant the hands down, long spine. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll have several twist opportunities here. Inhale, back up. Baby back bends. Exhale, twist to the right. Long spine. And release. We'll plant the left hand down. Inhale, right fingertips up. Exhale, bend to the left. Trying to stack that shoulder over the ears. Hip stays down. Inhale, switch sides. Plant that right hand down. Inhale, left fingertips up. Exhale to the right. And returning to neutral. We're going to send the legs long, beginning to wake up the body. Feet will be working this evening. Rolling the ankles, pressing through the heels and pointing through the toes. We'll need to work on the hamstrings and the quads this month. So we're going to inhale, lengthen, exhale, reach towards the toes. Finding that gentle stretch, just looking for the edge here, maybe rocking side to side if that helps. Inhale, roll the shoulders up, let them go. And we'll take this again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, heart reaches, noticing if we have extra space. Breathing into the back body wherever we feel it. East Coast. You've got a toy in there.
That's so painful.
In your Achilles. We're working on that.
Can't make the end go flat like that.
Yeah. All right, we're working on that this month too. Inhale, roll up. Let the shoulders drop. We'll roll the wrists out. Maybe pulling the fingertips back and down. And the other side. And drop that down. We'll see how much plank we can work in this evening. We'll move to our table. And start waking things up. Moving however the body is calling to. And we'll begin to take our circles, moving the synovial fluid, waking up the core. And moving in the other direction. Finding center, turning the thumbs forward. Inhaling hips and heart forward, open the front of the body. Maybe looking up. Exhale, hips towards the heels. Several rounds at your own pace. And returning to neutral, finding our neutral table, stacking the wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We'll inhale the left leg long. Engaging for a moment, core is engaged, strong back body. And then we'll cross that foot over to the right and to the left, taking several rounds here, waking up the adductors, the abductors, the hips, the glutes. Moving at your own pace. And we'll go ahead and sweep that foot between the hands, finding our blocks if we like them. Pressing forward into that right quad. We've been working on this for several months, continuing to open it up. Inhaling, Exhaling, letting the shoulders relax, collarbones are wide. Breathing into that hip flexor. Exhale, bowing over the extended foot, really working into the hamstring. Suggestion to drop the heel down, toes up to isolate the back body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, coming forward again. So last month we worked on our hamstring curls, and that was partly in preparation for April's class. We'll inhale, bring that heel towards the glutes. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze and hold, breathing into that space. All right, we have a little challenge here for spear pose. So we can come to a more neutral lunge. That heel is still up towards the glute. We can reach around with the right hand and grab that foot, helping it move towards the glutes, being cautious not to push past our safe boundaries. Spear pose. Breathing. And we will release the foot to the mat. Again, we're going to adjust our stance so we're a little more neutral in a 90-90 position here in this lunge. And we can take the right hand in our Abhaya Mudra and start to open towards the back of the room for this revolved version of our lunge. Inhale, returning to neutral. We'll remove our blocks, plant the hands, drop the knee. Taking a little bit of movement here. All right, finding neutral. Inhaling, right leg is long, engaging the back body, engaging the core. And we'll go ahead and move that foot over to the left and to the right. Big movements here. Hips are moving freely. One more. And we'll sweep that foot between the hands, returning to our lunges. Inhale, press forward into the left quad, breathing into that space. Deep inhales, long exhales. On our next exhale, bowing over the extended foot. Recommendation for heel to be down. Isolate that hamstring and the back body. Breathing into that space. Inhale, press forward again into that left quad, letting it open for a couple breaths. We'll inhale, bring the heel towards the glutes. Exhale, extend. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, extend. Inhale, squeeze and hold. Still breathing. Makes a big difference on those quads. We'll move a little bit more towards neutral, reaching left hand behind the body for that foot and just helping it open. Breathing here. And releasing the foot, finding a true neutral lunge. Coming up all the way, tuck the tailbone. We'll find our Abhaya Mudra and turn towards the back of the foot. Revolved fighting warrior. Inhale, returning to neutral, removing our props. It's already feeling warm. We'll drop the knee, take a little movement. Maybe we need a break before the real work begins. All right, when you're ready, we will tuck the toes and plant the hand and send the hips back and up, finding downward facing. Really pressing the heels towards the mat, working on that Achilles. There's no expectation for them to touch. We're just helping them open. Finding symmetry, we'll inhale, roll forward, finding our high plank. Breathing here. Inhaling. And exhaling. Exhale, lower down, super slow with control. And we'll find a low cobra this evening, working on back body strength. Feet can come off the mat. No weight in the hands. All the muscles along the spine are working. Hamstrings, glutes. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Moving through our child's. Countering that back bend. Take a couple breaths. And we'll return to downward facing. Pedaling the feet. All right, we're going to inhale the left leg long, three-legged dog. Holding here for a couple breaths, breathing. Big extension, strong through the back body. Exhale, bringing that knee towards the chest. Let it hover, squeeze it in. And we'll plant that foot down. We're going to find this high runner's lunge, long stance. Inhale, exhale, press the heel down, open that Achilles. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, press back. Inhale, roll forward. Find your stability. We'll come up to warrior one. Nice, strong stance here. Inhale. Exhale. All right, we're going to need to bend into this back knee a little bit. We're going to sweep left hand across the body and open up for revolved warrior. Inhale, coming back. Exhaling into humble. Eye contact with the big toe. Crown of the head reaches in one direction, tail in the other. Inhale, sweep open, warrior two. We're going to take this right hand and bring it across the chest, finding that Abhaya Mudra. Squeeze this back. We're going to inhale, and we're going to lean the torso back and draw that shoulder back like we're pulling the string of a bow. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweeping open to star, dropping down to goddess. Tail is tucked, head is high, core is engaged. Thinking about those hip points knitting together across the abdominals. We're going to inhale, straighten the legs. Might need to heel toe our stance a little bit. We're going to push off with the back foot. So my right foot is going to push off. We're coming behind left foot and finding our curtsy lunge. Lots of hip strength here. Inhale, open back to goddess. Drop down. Inhale, straighten. Push off the left foot. Cross behind right, curtsy lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straight. Exhale, goddess. We're going to drop down to our Skandasana. We're finding a nice strong stance here. Planting that foot. Can we get all the toes on the mat? And we'll find that Abhaya Mudra again. Left arm reaches out to that extended leg. Right arm pulls back. And we can use the hands to transition, or we can begin to work on the strength and balance it takes to shift without the hands. Again, finding that Abhaya Mudra, pulling that shoulder back. Inhale. Exhale. Planting the hands, coming into a wide forward fold for a moment. We're going to turn towards the top of the mat. Stepping forward. Inhale, finding mountain pose. Exhale down, let that equilibrium adjust. All right, we're going to heel toe the feet apart. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to find chair pose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, down. Inhale, straighten. All right, next challenge, plant through the left foot. We're going to work on our pistol squat prep. So the foot can be wherever we need it to. We can keep it on the floor. My modification is to wrap it around my calf. So we're going to find our weakest point. If we can't come down all the way, we're going to exhale. Maybe fall over. We can come down, we can stay here, or we can continue working on that strength, coming all the way down. We can use both feet. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Remember where we are today. We'll check back in 4 weeks. Open the feet. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive down. Planting the hands and stepping back, downward facing. So that's what we're doing. Inhale. Exhale. Finding symmetry. Inhale, rolling forward, finding our high plank. This time we have the option to drop one hip and then the other. If we're still working on that core strength, we can stay in regular plank. We can still drop the knees if we need to. Finding symmetry, exhale, lowering down. We might need to turn the air on. Inhale, finding low cobra if we're working on that strength, or any other back bend of your choice. Inhale. Exhale. Lowering down, moving through child's. And back to downward facing. Finding symmetry, inhaling, right leg is long, strong engagement here. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest, squeeze it in. Exhale, plant that foot down, finding our high runner's lunge. Maybe shortening that stance a little. We're going to exhale, press the heel back, opening the Achilles. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, press back. Inhale, roll forward, find the stability. We'll come up, warrior one. This is definitely a hot yoga class. Inhale. Exhale. All right, bending into that back knee a little, sweeping right arm down and open, twist towards the bent knee. Inhale, sweeping forward. Exhale, bowing for humble. Core is engaged, back is working. Inhale, coming up, sweep open, warrior two. Finding our Abhaya Mudra, squeezing left shoulder back. Inhale, shifting the torso and pulling that shoulder back like we have a bow. Inhale, exhale. Opening up to goddess pose. Exhale down. Inhale, straighten, pressing off with the right foot, crossing behind, curtsy lunge. Inhale, open, goddess pose. Inhale, straighten, pressing off with the left foot, crossing behind, bowing down. Inhale, back to goddess. Exhale, shifting the weight, coming down into that strong Skandasana. Core is engaged, head is high, feet are gripping the mats. Reaching right arm out, bringing left arm into that Abhaya Mudra. Inhaling, exhaling. Option to drop the hands or continue practicing the strength it requires to shift without the hands. Extending left arm, squeezing that right shoulder blade back. Inhale. Exhale. Coming to center, finding a wide forward fold. Turning the feet and the hands, stepping forward. Inhaling all the way up. Let the equilibrium catch up. Exhale down. Planting through that right foot. Finding your modification for these pistol squat preps. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly lowering down. Testing the body's limits here. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Plant the foot. Inhale up. Exhale down. We'll plant the hands and we'll step back. Pedaling the feet. If we need to take a break for some water, now's a good time. All right, inhaling back to downward facing. Inhale, rolling forward, high plank. We can stay in this regular plank or we continue with the dips. Last one. Exhale slowly with control, coming down to the mat. Inhaling to your back bend. Exhale, we're lowering down, moving through child. And back to downward facing. All right, little change here to this flow. We're going to inhale the left leg long. We're going to bring it into the chest, but we're going to send it out to the right, laying the outside of left foot down on the mat and saying hello to the IT band. Breathing into it. Inhale, releasing that, bringing the knee back into the chest, setting the foot down, finding high runner's lunge. Press that back heel towards the mat. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, warrior one. Shorten that hip. Bending into the back knee, sweeping left arm open behind the body. Revolved warrior. Inhale forward. Exhale, bowing for humble. Inhale, come up, sweep open, warrior two, finding our Abhaya mudras. Inhale, tip that front arm up and squeeze that right shoulder blade back like we're drawing our bow. Inhale, sweep open, finding goddess. Inhale, exhale down. Inhale, straighten, pressing off with that right foot. Curtsy lunge. Inhale, goddess. Exhale, squats. Inhale, straighten. Pressing off, left foot crosses behind the right. Exhale down. Inhale, goddess. Exhale down. Straighten both legs, shifting the weight into the left, coming down, finding Skandasana. And our fearless mudras. Hands or no hands, switching sides. Coming to center, inhaling straight. Creeping the hands, turning the toes, stepping forward. Inhale up. Exhale, calm down. Heel toe those feet a little apart. Plant through the left foot. Finding your modification here. Exhale, coming down. Balancing pose too, right? Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Take a little movement here. Yeah. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back. Pedal it out. Inhale, roll forward. We have an option for a side plank. We can move the right hand to the center of the mat. We can turn both feet and inhale, left arm up. And untwisting, planting that hand down. Of course, we need to do the other side, moving left hand to the center, letting the feet cross over, inhale up. Haven't done a side plank in a hot minute. Inhale, exhale. Releasing the hands to the mat, coming down. Inhale into your back bend of choice if you're ready for rest. Exhale, lower down, move through child's. And back to down dog. Inhaling, the right leg is long, engage those glutes. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest. We're going to let it hover. Then cross that foot over to the left. Set the outside of right foot down. Say hello to the IT band. And that foot can be up closer to the hands if we need to. Just finding that little stretch on the outside of the hip and thigh. Inhale, bring the knee back in. Then find our high runner's lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up, warrior one. Gotta shorten my stance. Sweeping right arm behind us, bending into left knee, opening up for revolved warrior. Inhale forward and sweep open, warrior two. Finding our Avaya mudras, squeeze that left shoulder blade back. Inhale, tilt that front arm up, finding reverse. Releasing, sweeping open, finding goddess. Exhale down. Inhale, straighten, pressing off the right foot. Hand behind the left, curtsy lunge. Inhale back to goddess, exhale down. Inhale, straighten, press left foot off the mat, cross behind, right, curtsy lunge. Inhale back to goddess, exhale down. Dropping down, squatting into left knee, Skandasana. Abhaya mudra, squeeze that shoulder back. Hands or no hands, switch sides. And Abhaya mudras. Releasing, coming to center. Wide forward fold here for a moment. Deep inhales, long exhales. Plant the hands, turn the toes. Step forward. Inhale up. Exhale down. Plant through the right foot. Finding our modification for these pistol squats. Exhale, coming down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Okay, nice and sweaty. Take a drink because we've got more fun to come. We might need our straps for this. So last month, we were working on big toe, opening up the body. And this month, we're going to work on the revolved version. So we're going to come in to Warrior 3 first, planting through that left foot. Finding that lazy Warrior 1 stance, shift the weight forward. Engaging everything, find the drishti. Inhale, we can lift that back leg off and fall over this evening. Inhale. Exhale. All right, we can move that knee up. And as always, we can stay right here. Man, we're really off this evening. Left foot, bring that knee up. We can stay here. We can hold the knee. We have the strap or the hands. So we can bring the strap around this foot. Take it in the left hand. Extend it long. And then we can twist the body towards the bent knee, extended leg. We'll work on it all month. We got lots of opportunities for this. All right. We'll try the other side. Plant through that right foot. Find the drishti. Shift the weight forward, really thinking about the contact to the mat. And lifting left leg. Can we get it nice and long? This side's already much better. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring that knee forward. Slowly with control. And deciding if we're using our props. Extending. And then we can twist towards that extended leg. And releasing. Nice job. Our legs were pretty tired. Whew. taking a little movement, taking a drink. It is hot yoga. Wipe your face. And we'll make our way down to the mat, finding that garland pose. Knees wide, heels don't have to come down. We can sit on a block if we need to. Pressing the elbows into the knees. Can we straighten the spine up and allow the back body to relax here? One of the hardest poses in yoga. Deep inhales, long exhales. Slowly releasing, making our way to the mat, taking whatever movements the body needs, maybe 90-90, maybe dynamic butterflies, maybe something else. All right, and we've got time for core. All right, placing the feet on the mat, sitting up tall, engage the core. We're going to lean back until we really feel that engagement happen. We can stay right here. We can release the hand. We can release a foot at a time. We can release both feet. Super hard to extend. We can row, finding your most beneficial version. And letting boat go. Taking whatever movement we need. The low back tends to really tuck in boat pose. And we'll come to the back and work on some more back body strength. We're going to bring the heels close to the glutes. We usually take this as a cool down. Today we're going to work a little on the strength. So bringing the heels close to the glutes, inhale up into our bridge pose, really squeezing the glutes. We're looking for a straight line from the shoulder to the knees, not doing a big back bend. We can stay here. We can move with the breath up and down. We can raise one foot off and then the other for some glute bridge marches. That's a much tougher version. One more each side. And exhale, lower down. Let's bring the knees into the chest. Give the low back a little reward. Roll the back out. Move in the opposite direction. Big exhales, bring that heart rate down. All right, time for reward. So we'll come to our tabletop position. Taking whatever movement that we might still need here. Since we did so much shoulder work, we'll give them a reward with some thread the needle. So we're going to inhale, right arm up, moving a couple times dynamically. Exhale, thread it under. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. Inhale, open. Exhale, we'll lower that shoulder down. Remembering our options, we can extend the left arm long. If we need to get into that right shoulder, we just need to stack left shoulder more towards the mat. We can also place that left arm behind the back, finding your most beneficial version. Deep inhales, long exhales, cooling us down, signaling to the body that we're done being mean. And slowly making our way out of this side, taking whatever movement we need, maybe some spinal flossing, maybe some cat-cow, maybe side to side. And we'll set up on the other side. Inhaling, left arm up. Exhale, thread. Inhale up. Exhale, thread. Inhale up. Exhale, thread, and lower down, finding your most beneficial pose, listening to this shoulder, allowing it to be a little different if it is, making those modifications. Part of yoga is not imposing our will on the body in this practice. We'll slowly let this side go. Again, taking whatever movement that we need. And go ahead and come into a pose called saddle pose. It opens up the quadriceps and the hip flexors, and it's pretty intense. So, one modification that we can do, basically, what we're doing is we're setting the hips down between the heels. And then we can lean back until we feel those quads engage. But most people are probably going to need some help. We can come up onto a block, sitting that underneath the hips. Remembering we have a couple levels here. And then we can begin to lean back. We can come down to the elbows. It's kind of a back bend. Just finding your beneficial pose. How does that feel? Is that pretty intense?
You won't get a solid again.
Okay. Because we can come up on the blocks and the elbows too to help. Okay. Perfect.
You must long.
Yeah. This one is pretty tough on people's knees if they've got restrictions, and there's just not very many ways that we can open up the quads because we have to open up the hip joint and the knee joint to get into that area. Deep inhales, long exhales. We'll slowly release this one. Coming to seated, however we need to get there. Taking whatever counter moves that we need to. We'll come into double pigeon or fire log, but of course, if you know which hip opener that you need, figure 4. So if we're doing fire log at home, we'll place a block in front of the left shin. Left shin is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Stack that right ankle over the block or on top of the knee. Make those adjustments. We should be feeling sensation in the outside of right hip. Exhale, bow forward if we need to deepen that pose. Inhaling, exhaling. We'll slowly let this side go, taking whatever counter moves we need, maybe 90-90s, maybe dynamic butterfly. And then we'll set up on the other side. If you're at home doing fire log, right shin parallel to the short edge, block in front of right knee, left ankle stacks. Breathing wherever we landed. Deep inhales, long exhales, signaling to the nervous system it's okay to relax. Now slowly let this side go, taking again whatever counter moves the body wants. Coming to the back if we're not already there. We'll bring the knees into the chest, taking those circles with the knees, rolling out the fascia at the low back, moving in the opposite direction. We'll inhale the feet up to sky, press the heels, point the toes, helping the blood return to the heart. Bringing the knees into the chest, placing the palms of the hands on top of the knees, fingertips pointed down. Inhale, press the knees away, catching them with our fingertips. Exhale, pulling them back in, moving at your own pace. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. And taking whatever final movements the body needs and setting up for your version of Shavasana. Maybe that's a butterfly shape. We didn't get that in this evening. Maybe it's internal rotation with knees bent and knees together. Deep inhales, long exhales, releasing any remaining tension that's in the body. And slowly beginning to call our awareness into our space. Beginning to take some movement into the body, maybe pointing through the toes and reaching overhead for a full body stretch. Taking the time that it takes. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. Marcus Aurelius. Thank you for joining me in a spicy practice this evening, bringing the hands to heart center and to the third eye, remembering we bow to our own inner teachers. Namaste.